Well, g'day, welcome to Drive Time here in Vegas, and today we're talking sales. There are several things, actually there's 4 things I want to cover off on sales today, but the main theme of this is that there's always a sale made. And whether you're the CEO of the company, whether you own the business, whether you are a salesperson, everybody's always in sales. We know that fact, okay? Even the person on the front desk, even the person that is in dispatch, everybody's always on sales. But here's the first thing I want to cover off before I get to the 4 points of how we actually make more sales, all right? Number one thing that we need to realize is that in any sales scenario, someone always makes the sale. Now, whether it's you selling them on the fact that you can help or them selling you on the fact that you cannot help, someone sells the other person. And I need most salespeople to recognize this. In fact, you probably want to share this with every single salesperson in your organization. If you go in to see a prospect and that prospect does not buy, you just got sold to. You got sold to, and you got sold that you cannot help. So if you accept the fact, or if you accept the sale that they sold you on the fact that you can't help them, then you got to start looking. The customer outsold you. So 4 things we want to cover off on to make sure that we sell rather than they sell. Make sure we get the sale rather than they sell us on the concept that we suck and can't help them. All right, number 1, if you do not know more about your company and your prospects than your customer does, you got a lot of studying to do. If you are not more understanding of your customer base and more understanding of your competitors and more understanding of your business and your products than your customers do, if your customer has more knowledge about your competitors, you can't outsell your competitors. If your customer knows more about the product or more about your competitor's product than you do, you can't outsell your competitors. Being an expert in all things to do with your product or service, being an expert in all things to do with your competitors is a very important aspect of being a great salesperson. It's hard to outsell someone. It's like building a team. If you're building a team and some of your customers know more about your business than your team does, then you as a sales manager have lost your way. You as a CEO have lost your way. Your team needs to know more about your competitors. Your team needs to know more about your product. They need to know the history of your business, because if your customers are more knowledgeable about the business than the people that work there, then it's very hard to make a sale. So do your homework, do your study. Second thing is, if you don't know more about your prospect, then if you have to walk in there and ask them questions about themselves, you've not done your homework. When I'm prospecting, I'm on Google, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on every single thing there is to learn about my prospect. I want to be on all social media to know my prospect better than I should. I shouldn't have to go in and ask the basic questions. The number of times I've called a salesperson or a salesperson's called me. In fact, it happened to me the other day. I'm looking for a new RV. The salesperson calls me and asks where I'm based. My phone number tells you where I'm based, you complete moron. Look it up. Do at least 2-minute social media search. I'll come up on your radar. You know, you should look it up and go, oh, Brad, we love your books. We'd love to sell you an RV. You know, you should know that stuff about your prospect before you make the call. Don't be lazy as a salesperson. Get on the phone, get on the internet, but make sure you do your research. Look at their website if you're selling to a company. Understand the people, understand the person buying from you. There is so much information. You should never ever cold call. You should always warm call. You should know enough about them before you get on the phone that it actually excites them to receive your call. You should be able to give them a compliment in the first 2 minutes of being on that call, or the first 30 seconds of being on that call. Third thing, if you want to outsell the person selling to you, use more questions. I heard it again last night, and I hear it every single day. My dad used to say it to me all the time: 2 ears, 1 mouth, keep it in proportion. If you are not asking a bunch of questions and leading that person, you know, people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. What does a professional salesperson do? A professional salesperson asks questions so the customer sells themselves. They dig deep, they get to emotion. If you haven't done any of my sales training, make sure you speak to your action coach and get on the sales training that we do. Every single salesperson needs to ask more questions and listen more often. If you ask the questions, they will do it. fourth thing, what is the dumbest question in sales? Okay, let's remember this is the dumbest question ever. Actually, it's probably the second dumbest. No, it is still the dumbest. I'll tell you what the second dumbest is. When you go into a retail store and they ask, "Hi, can I help you?" That is literally, it could be the dumbest question in sales, but I'll give it second dumbest question in sales. What's the dumbest question in sales? Would you like to buy? The yes/no question of would you like to buy has got to be the dumbest question in sales. A salesperson worth their salt never asks a question of would you like to buy. All they ever ask is, would you like the red one or the blue one? Would it be best to deliver that on Tuesday or Thursday? You always ask a detailed question to close the sale. You always ask a confirmation question. You do not ever. And all this stuff about you don't close the sale, you open relationships. What a load of absolute bull. You always have to close the sale as a salesperson. This whole you open a relationship, be softy rubbish. No, yes, you've got to build rapport. Yes, you've got to do the research. Yes, you've got to build get the knowledge base to offer a great solution. But you still got to close the sale. This whole thing of, no, we've got to close the sale. We've got to actually ask for the business. And to ask for the business, you don't ask, do you want to buy or not? You ask a detailed question that says, when are we going to do that? Which way would you like to do that? Would you like to do it A or B? Would you like it in this color or this color? Would you like it delivered this day or that day? How would you like to pay for that, cash or credit? You ask a detailed question to confirm the sale. That's the way we do things when we want to be a professional salesperson. Anyway, I love sales. I think sales is probably one of the best professions there is on the planet. And if you're a professional salesperson, you get results. It's the ones who lack professionalism, who treat it as I've got the gift of the gab. Well, shut up. Listen more. Don't talk as much. Anyway, that's Drive Time. I forgot to ask, where are you at? Where are you from? Type in where you're from and type in your biggest lesson. So I want to see what's your biggest lesson. What is the number one thing you're going to do based on today's drive? No use just listening to Drive Time. You got to take action based on what we teach. Be well, take care, talk to you on the next Drive Time. Take care and take action.